The sixth part is two objects are traveling directly toward each other and then collide. Object A is a mass of 2 kg initially traveling to the right at 3 meter per second, and object B is mass of 5 kg initially traveling to the left at 2 meter per second. What is the total momentum of A and B after the collision? So very pretty easy question here. So always guys, in the momentum questions, draw the points that they have given. So they say object A is traveling at right. So you can say object A, that's object A, it's traveling right and it is 2 kg, that's 2 kg, and it says that it's traveling at a speed of 3 meter per second. So I write speed here. Oops, 3 meter per second. And then say object B of mass 5 kg initially traveling to left at 2 meter per second. So it's traveling the opposite direction of A. So it's traveling in this way. So this will help you out. So it's of 5 kg, much heavier than object A. That's 5 kg and it's traveling at a speed of 2 meter per second. Now what you can do is, if you remember momentum topic, the formula for momentum. So this is a formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, where v is final speed and u is the initial speed, where m is the mass. And what I'll do is I'll just plug the values. After plugging in the values, I get 6 plus 10. Now if you notice that they said that the object B of mass 5 initially traveling to left at 2 meters, so it was traveling opposite side, so its sign will change and it will become minus 10. So our final or simplification value will be, we can ultimately cancel out the 16 kg meter per seconds because those are not the option left. Now we are left with A and B. Now if you clearly see that minus 4 or the sign indicates left direction and right direction indicates this side or the positive side, so our option is clearly A. Moving on to the seventh one. A student determines the terminal velocity of a ball bearing as it falls through oil. He releases the ball bearing at point V and measures the time taken for it to fall a measured distance. Which 2 points should he use for measured distance? So the question is asking us to find the measured distance within the oil. We can clearly see that V at V point V the ball is not in the oil. So we can cancel out A part. Very easy here. And using your common sense we can see that at W it reaches or it enters the oil, so it can't reach terminal velocity as it enters the oil, you can say. So we'll cancel out the W's and you can see that X and Y, from X to Y is a proper distance to be measured, so our option is C. So you can use common sense here. Eighth question is, which of the following is a vector quantity? A. Density. B. Kinetic energy. C. Momentum. D. Viscosity. Viscosity is not a vector quantity because it has scalar terms. Neither its density because it's mass upon volume. The only option left is kinetic energy and momentum. Kinetic energy is measured in joules, which is also the units for work done, and work done is a scalar quantity. So we are left with C, which is momentum. Momentum is measured in kg meter per second. So we have direction and we have magnitude. The ninth question is, which of the following statements is not correct for a Newton's third law pair of forces? Now they are asking not correct. So we have to find the incorrect option. So it says the A part is the forces act in opposite directions. That's true. The forces act on the same body. We'll consider it. The forces are of the same type. That's true. The forces have the same magnitude. Can be, but we are left with B and D. So our options A and D are left out. Now, if you remember, these type of questions are being repeated in every type of question or past paper. So what we'll do is we'll see that the third law of Newton states, so when two objects interact, they apply equal and opposite forces. So you can say two objects. So the forces act on the same body. They can't act on the same body. There has to be two different bodies. So our option is B. And we are done with ninth question. Moving on to the final question. The 10th question is, a locomotive pulls a train at constant speed against a force of 84,000 or 84,000 k Newton. The output power of locomotive is 70 megawatts. Which of the following gives the time in seconds for locomotive to pull the train a distance of 1 kilometer? So if you remember that power is the rate of change of energy, you can say, but we have been given in terms of force, area and time. So that will be d upon dt. Now guys, if you remember how to change energy into terms of force and area. So if you remember that force into distance, if you remember that force into distance gives us work done, and work done is directly proportional to energy. So we will substitute force and distance here in terms of energy. We have power, we have force, and we have the distance, or you can say the area, and we have to find T. So what I'll do is I'll just send T over there and bring P over here. Now we can check our options. The A part 8,400 into 10 to the power 3. That's force, and that's on the denominator, so that can't be an option. B can't be option, so we are left with C and D. If you notice that we have 8,400 in the D part, and that's 8,400 thousand Newton. That's a K added. So this can't be an option. But when we look at C, we have 8.4 into 10 to the power 6. So that's 8,400 K Newton. And into 3, that's the distance. You can say 1 kilometer is, or we are converting 1 kilometer into meters. So that's 1 kilometer, 1000 meters. That's 10 to the power 3. And that's all over 7 into 10 to the power 7. So if you check that, we have 70 megawatt. So mega, or its base units are 10 to the power positive 6, and if you count the 0 for 70, that will become 7. So it's written 7 into 10 to the power 7. So C is our final answer. Thanks for watching guys. Stay tuned for more videos from this series.